What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Friday, June 5th. These picks apply for the DraftKings Showdown slate. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay guys, real quick for those who don't know how these simulated slates work, everything works the same. You build a full lineup using the players available in the slate. The only difference is the fantasy points each player scores is a fantasy score from any game that player has played so far this year. Only players with at least 15 games played are in the player pool. Pretty simple, they just take a score at random from previous games that player has played, and that's it. So knowing how that works, we've added some tools to Draft Dashboard so you can see all the possible outcomes of scores from each player, and we show the percent chance that the player has to score in each point range. So pretty handy. You can hover over the Sim Scores button and see right here exactly what scores this player can get for this contest. It will be one of these at random. And then you can see what percent chance they have to score in these point ranges. Okay, remember, we have a daily cheat sheet for esports for League of Legends, and that's linked from the Sports tab right at the top of Draft Dashboard. And we now have a cheat sheet for Korean baseball, NASCAR, and the MMA, and you can find those cheat sheets linked from the Draft Dashboard news. Okay guys, let's take a look at this DraftKings showdown between the Detroit Pistons and the Houston Rockets. I'm going to start off by giving you the top value play on the slate, and that's Luke Canard, projected at 28.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 7.8 times value. He's 3,600 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. An 11% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 46% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 39% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 4% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I like Luke Canard here at only 3,600 DraftKings salary. Okay, moving up in salary a little bit, a nice mid-range value play here is Blake Griffin, projected at 27.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.1 times value. He's 5,400 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. An 11% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 44% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, and a 44% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points. So I like Blake Griffin here at 5,400 DraftKings salary. Okay, we're going to get into two other value plays here. If you want to play James Harden and Russell Westbrook in your lineup, you're going to have to fit in some of these value plays here. So I like Bruce Brown Jr., projected at 23.5 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.9 times value. He's 4,800 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 16% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 66% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 14% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 5% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So I mean, those numbers aren't popping off the page here, but I mean, this is a mid-range value play that's going to allow you to play Russell Westbrook and James Harden. So you got to take what you got, take what you're given. So I like Bruce Brown Jr. here at 4,800 DraftKings salary. And you can see Bruce Brown Jr. is a better value play than Eric Gordon. For only 200 more, you're getting 14% to score 30 to 45 and 5% to score 45 to 60 versus Eric Gordon, who's only got a 9% chance to score 30 to 45, 0% chance to score 45 to 60, but he does have a 3% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more So Eric Gordon is a boom or bust type player here. I'd much rather pay up the 200 and go to Bruce Brown Jr. Real quick guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. So look guys, I know there's not a lot of sports playing right now, but we are posting a daily cheat sheet for esports for the League of Legends contests, and we just added these new DFS tools for the NBA simulated slates. We're going to be updating our tools to help you pick the best players for these sim sports, and I think these tools are going to give you a big advantage. There's no human element here. This is a stats game. This is a math problem. This is where our tools can really help you identify the numbers, the percent chance these players are going to score within these point ranges, so you know what you're getting into with each pick. Okay, moving on here to the studs on the slate. I like Russell Westbrook, projected at 51 fantasy points here tonight. That's 4.6 times value. He's 11,000 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 2% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 4% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 30% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, a 43% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 22% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. So get this guy in your lineup. I like Russell Westbrook here at 11,000 DraftKings salary. Okay, and the captain of the slate, I like James Harden, projected at 59.1 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5 times value. He's 11,800 DraftKings salary. Let's take a look at his sim scores. A 0% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 5% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 13% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, a 37% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points, and a 45% chance to score 60 fantasy points or more. Of course, the highest 60+ point upside on the slate, and for not much more than Russell Westbrook. So I was experimenting with a Russell Westbrook captain just to see what players it would unlock for me, and it wasn't worth it. Definitely go with James Harden as your captain for only 800 more than Russell Westbrook. And then just a note here, after I finished my lineup, unfortunately I had to play PJ Tucker because I had Eric Gordon in my last spot and I had tons of salary to upgrade. So the best player that I could upgrade to was PJ Tucker, who he's got a 31% chance to score 15 fantasy points or less, a 48% chance to score 15 to 30 fantasy points, a 19% chance to score 30 to 45 fantasy points, and a 2% chance to score 45 to 60 fantasy points. So those numbers aren't great, especially at 7,200 DraftKings salary, only projected at 21.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's only 3 times value, guys. But I would prefer PJ Tucker over Eric Gordon. He's just a much safer play. So anyways, that's how my lineup kind of shaked out. I really tried to readjust it to prevent playing PJ Tucker, but it just worked out that way. So I'll show you guys that lineup at the end. Those are my DraftKings picks for tonight's showdown. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck. Okay guys, if you're getting any value from this video, please hit that red subscribe button. We put out new fantasy basketball videos every single day. So if you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell notification, you won't miss out on any of our new fantasy basketball and fantasy football videos. Tons of free stuff coming your way. It only takes a second, and it helps us push out more fantasy content for you guys to consume each and every day. It's because of you subscribers that make this possible. So thank you for supporting this channel. This is a quick reminder, you should be reading the comments of this video. We have some savvy basketball fans who watch these videos, and they often give great plays and call me out when my picks are wrong. Wisdom of the crowd is a great way to get a feel for what players the field likes in today's NBA slate. We also have a DFS tool that shows you what players our members like for today's slate, so you can come on in and check that out.